Breaking news now. High-speed chase on the interstate ends in a crash, and this morning 3 suspects are in custody. News Channel 5's Dan Kennedy's been talking with investigators all morning, and Dan, police think those suspects may be responsible for a carjacking last night too.
It was a very violent carjacking. Started about 11:30 on Hickory Club Drive in the Antioch area. Police say a man was approached by 3 suspects at his car. They carjacked him, they pistol whipped this man, and then stuffed him in his very own trunk of his car. But just as the suspects were about to take off, he managed to use the emergency latch to escape from his trunk and call 911. Fast forward to about 3:30 this morning. That's when police caught up with this car. They spotted it at a McDonald's on Murfreesboro Pike. They eventually gave chase. The suspects never stopped. It reached pretty high speeds, I'm told, during this chase, and that's when the suspects crashed the car just off exit 212 here on Interstate, here on I-40. And after the crash, police arrested 2 of the suspects. At this time, they're still working to identify the 3rd. Reporting live this morning just south of downtown, Dan Kennedy, News Channel 5.
Dan, thanks so much. One person was rushed to the hospital in critical condition after a nasty crash along I-65. It happened on the on-ramp to Interstate 840 in Williamson County about 3 o'clock this morning. About 4 hours ago, deputies tell us one person was ejected, the driver not wearing a seatbelt. That's why they were thrown from the car. The Highway Patrol is now investigating, and that ramp reopened a couple of hours after the crash.
Breaking new details this morning after a stabbing outside a South Nashville restaurant. Police tell us it happened last night outside this restaurant on Nolensville Pike. We're told 2 men got into a fight over a girl, and one stabbed the other in the side with a knife. The suspect ran off, and he's still on the run this morning. The victim is expected to be okay. If you know anything that can help investigators, call Crime Stoppers, 615-74-CRIME. And the Pentagon is assessing the results of a U.S. military strike on Syria that's in response to that deadly chemical attack a little earlier this week that killed more than 80 civilians.
30 of those kids, they think, as well. The attack was being planned as President Trump was welcoming China's president to his Florida resort for a 2-day summit. Weijia Jiang has the very latest. She's in West Palm Beach, Florida. Weijia.
Last night, a series of U.S. missile strikes took direct aim at the regime of Syrian leader Bashar al-Assad.
Tonight, I ordered a targeted military strike on the airfield in Syria from where the chemical attack was launched.
2 U.S. Navy warships in the Mediterranean Sea fired a total of 59 Tomahawk missiles aimed at this airbase in central Syria.
It is in this vital national security interest of the United States to prevent and deter the spread and use of deadly chemical weapons.
A report on Syrian state television called the U.S. missile strike an aggression, but stopped short of calling it an act of war. Russia's response is even more critical. The Kremlin has aligned itself with the Syrian government. This morning, Russia is condemning the attack and says the strike violates international law. Russian state TV aired footage showing craters and damage left by the explosions. A spokeswoman for the Russian foreign minister also claims the U.S. strike was planned before Tuesday's chemical attack. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson told reporters the president made the decision to strike Thursday.
It does demonstrate that President Trump is willing to act when governments and actors cross the line.
A U.S. official says Vice President Mike Pence worked out of the White House Situation Room during the strikes. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, West Palm Beach.
All right, Weijia, thank you. The Syrian military says 6 members were killed and several wounded in that U.S. strike on the Syrian air base. We'll keep you updated as that story continues to develop.